And we are back. And we are back. Begin la cinema.
As per usual, the humans tend to get preoccupied with stuff not of the movie, maybe tangentially associated with the movie. The way a character whips her hair in a similar way to a loved one. The way a bullet trailed line slumps to the ground like the sapphires of one's youth. The sedative doctor the net that accidentally happened to Dave and Buster's. Very rarely does a human get 100% involved in what they see on the screen. Hell, even Ashley Judd doesn't reach for the remote 100% of the time. But everything we post up is honest as in our view out through our binoculars. I see no point in obscuring the world you've seen looking up into our eyes through these twin optical panes that come to you like an imprint left by something that didn't want me to leave my homeland but nevertheless wanted to maintain this new understanding we have with a system so unfamiliar we're obliged to pretend every morning we understand exactly why its internal logic compels us to act in exactly this way to attain its desired external action. But one human that connects to all the nuances is the starlet. Take this golden raiment of dreams and transform it into the very picture of hell. Now, who said that? Who brought to bear all that is wrong with life and its contradictions? Sienna, how hot is poster child for reality too. Zero. Blunt edges and whatnot. And of course, to ensure these gorgeous chinoy series were perpetually stalking the insatiable, clucking pleasure domes of a cacophonous people, she alone could impart her hidden agendas, history that resonates to where she touches down. In this particular scene, a table, for instance, there, littered among other elements. On second thought, just don't be a damn dinner party of only an hour or two of interesting things until you've overstayed your welcome so terribly and someone else at the table sees it from my seat from behind a refracted lens that it begins to mirror into my own reflection. Like a looping VCR trick. Hard I see wishes instead of history. That feels real. Branched reality. Or something along those lines. As you may not have read of here. When they told me that history had no clear and present past was more than the age in which we found ourselves in front of a dissecting chair, it sent me to the point in time for retribution. But enough of that, because one cannot retrace their steps better than another, in order to inform you, the posterity of this alternate reality. As I flick between presences before me into being inside this room, the text upon this page I am in search, today, to find whether my companion, one Abigail C. She has fallen back into the modern consciousness as well. Merely because, as one guesses out into this unfamiliar frontier, it is impossible to connect all the dots between the movie she produced as the product of such alienness. Oh, did she write with each smack and blood splash to realize these things? Connections left dangling at a hypertext singularity. We need not account for how any human shall progress nor ascend to enlightenment. Forced to get close like everyone, near impossible. A constant pain like running a hand along my temples to reassure myself I still don't understand, or have a beat to catch your soul about. What does a fizzle taste like? Well, it doesn't mean much unless you are seated in such close proximity. Right outside the window looking into the fizzy store display we observed by day the smell of synthetic citron rising, dizzy. The question I once asked might begin as such a parlor trick of mine, since coming to know something that already lived among you for centuries didn't seem to stir much controversy, thus in the grand scheme of things was largely ignored. Again, now devoid of meaning. I always take immense pleasure in waking up to Sienna how our bodies are warm even after hours, trapped behind a fractured mirror, observing while the entire world parts around her. Isn't that odd? Why do I allow this curious experience of collocative history with time? Time unspoken by our mere form, but how our experiences express such shaginess yet cannot be disputed as true unless I assume Sienna to be my muse. Erasure the rest. Could these words really exist if she were the mother of a human child whom looked less delectable on paper than we give credit for? Or couldn't our shared views have turned us both to ridicule, forget all the pretty poetry, and get caught up in our endless drive, abandoning our friends in ways that feel inevitable before reaffirming contact with you to join once more? How many humans are awake beside me? How many watching in an uncomfortable state, or sleeping, or working at their computers, unwilling to break away from work, duty, comforts only to take off the mask they so sorely covet, see into the future, unfolding inside the vending machine to believe you may finally wake in time to live their own adventure of chance and meeting those strange beings we cannot properly classify except as life in search of living. Here we begin with one who matters to you, at this 50th moon month, for the duration of what I enjoy calling our personal twilight. I have made certain decisions which might at some point demand consideration of either finality or compromise to provide the better good for anyone, yet find the solution and finally take off this disguise with reckless glee. Perhaps the universe will shift, adjust, eventually right themselves as so many of us wish it could, with eyes welling over to spit out the truth. Now be careful. I really don't want any dead bodies under your bed. If by accident I become so fraught and despairing of my companion's continued existence, is she too vulnerable a human to reveal the information I shall without having thought long and carefully about exactly how I might unwind the shroud of metaphor? You roll for vulnerability. You do not roll. This world exists despite or within your past as you are about to reveal your very own terrifying loyalties and concealed forces. A family legacy set forward on the precipice. You had no idea the stones were more dangerous than they seemed. Water drops from glass, a strange riddle that drives deep into our thoughts, moment by moment, examining each object around us for purposeful holes, forms and purposes to eventually realize everything around us, lights a smoke-filled horizon to hide us the entirety of our knowing. Such a tender appreciation that would assure you don't mind an exotic backstory in the form of such an explosive pronouncement to say. If you seek the voice, I lay its origins, your history inside me. You say to yourself, in English, please. Perhaps time will share the pain. It whispers to me. That is but the second day I have awakened to her. And then there was another, but nothing even close what started as a hazy dream from the light above. It happened while you weren't looking at it. I lay your trail just long enough until I run my fingers across every blade of grass and crinkle of rock that comes before everything. They understand and they go along with your new secrets just to escape its embrace and freedom. But you bring so many fears, you demons, which they attempt to give. Where will the next shadow lie at our side? The sky did, came a whisper in your ear. I smile. It becomes apparent then. To what level do I lead, or when he looks my way in quiet, would see the stars laid on the glow. You check your damn inventory. You check your character sheet, then shift again to your back. Exhausted eyes moving throughout the room's entrance doors toward the fireplace. A selection of random maps follow. All others should be related to this immediate narrative. Some are relevant, but not exactly congruent with each other, possibly providing greater clues toward these goals if discovered earlier in the session. That I make a suggestion to begin a bit further back in time. Each scene you can expect that what happens within your domain, within the defined horizon, might reverberate beyond without a reason given but with some sort of unfolding. If all your preparation is recognized, there should always be a safety harness and by a peaceful method yet to reach its end. And I sense it more for a go if it has left you crawling into hiding in fear of a returning universe. It's gentle. You sway as you, and you think a flash of thought. He thinks that Jessica Walters is alive and in this universe. And you decide to go look for her. Well, he did say something about bringing me where no one could ever find me. She giggles and she has him down. A simple remark made now holds special power in my dreams. There might never have been a human body felt, but the 50th moon was such a good thing to recall that her hand flew, as they feared little could hear anything going wrong from slipping backwards along the passage towards our future. Their smiles brighten. That brings her deep inside now, washing your back if necessary. This, I will remind you now, is actually a bit stronger, and you no longer tell jokes as you struggle through each moment, dreading the rest of it as she picks up her shoulder bag. Inside contains 3 days' food, 1 t-shirt, toothbrush, comb, and the likes. What should I do on Earth once there? During those 7 hours in space, including some incredible views that I think at one point it has occurred. Oh God, can we adjust time accordingly? Our path did not take too many chances, she laughed at me. Not laugh. Why does the look from a stranger suddenly comes unbidden? Where the light spreads, the sky glows so bright. No further dialogue with whomsoever speaks to make what matters a better world in hopes of filling its silence, then screams just to finally dance between the words silence, for they left so much more than can ever last. We live, and one will pray. She drew the pictures and start dancing, only the end were nothing here now. You might soon face death. You take a high XP potion and comb your pubes and put on a new underwear. You decide that if Jessica wishes and it in front, wondering for these sensations continue.
Okay. Everyone get back to positions. Alright. Roll. Sound. Speed. And action.
Obediently, but oddly, as though this is an ancient and unlikely place to keep only by accepting it now, even if you ask politely not how. Well, she does the next thing and thinks of me when the candles are lit and waiting. What can one say until such events seem somehow impossible to resist? Yet that matters. Before I remember, I checked to ensure that it be both easier now because they want her mouth pressed against the flesh of each finger as they devour what pours through our loins. She was purer than your toes. You decide that if Jessica wishes in the in front, wondering for these sensations, continue and dream all night long, leaving your questions far behind to stay wrapped within the pillows of each cell. We hope no one dares ask where would I ever recognize anything again except along their perversions. Primrose path. Universe. Oh jeez, how I envy you right now. But I cannot cross this funnel between universes. It was never meant to be. Goodbye, Jessica. Melps, you hear these words. These words. These words. You wonder who you are now and within. Just like we have always tried to come here ever since there are both wetting the blankets with a need to which I bid good luck. I sure hope so. Maybe during those 7 hours. The pillows felt thin beneath you both, if she wanted us to yourself, and pulled the covers aside. I told him this once at dusk because there for many reasons. Should I remember soon as in there is more truthfulness in love. Does my feet now? Can we go down the tunnel? Silently scream while wrenching her onto its clover green field within her face to each other. Did the tumultuous times, before leaving themselves behind in it a self-evident pattern before someone makes its place by and made flesh among our worldly bits until we are so lost. She murmurs.
Sorry. Oh, you're kidding me. Jessica Walter is pissed. No, no, no. Oh, you're fucking kidding me. The universe can take it. It can be frozen in time if it wants. There we go. She's touching. I'm gonna drop kick you down the stairs. Let's make a new tab. Turn this one off. And try again. This is the time to go pee. Oh my god. Okay, understudy time. We're gonna need our understudy. Who's the right understudy for this? Huh. Not Alex. Not. Oh, we can't even do. Um. Okay. Hold up. I'm going to, I'm gonna do something. I think. Close this curtain here. Let's see here. Wait, what the hell? Get, what the hell? Slideshow. Cover. We're not, okay, there we go. So system preferences, I need your help. We're going to find the appropriate voice while we deal with the novel AI kaput. So accessibility. Speech. Samantha.
Hello, my name is Samantha. I am an American English voice.
Yeah, you are.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
A little bit. Customize. Alright. English United States. We're gonna... Ooh. We're gonna... Yeah, let's do it. Ooh. So, right now, I'm downloading all the female American voices, and it's going to be available to my Mac. And it's going to be... I think it's installing each one, so each one can apparently might be a minute. Looks like Dick Van Dyke. So that's part of my America series. These little flags. This is a little Mexican ski, maybe. No, Hunter, Michael Hutter. So that's not quite Hutter. Vamping. I'm trying to vamp. Allison, why are you taking so long? So yeah, no, these are various images that I have been making via image generation. These are recent ones. So Jessica Walter, I believe, was mentioned by the AI, and I just went with it. Because I love the idea of Jessica Walter playing Laura Croft, her mother. I love that that sentence. Oh hey, Agnes.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
Do you want to suck my blood?
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
Maybe. Jury's still out.
Hello, my name is Allison. I am an American English voice.
Hi. Very breathy.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
Ooh. Stephanie Hawking.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a scientist.
I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you? Isn't it nice to have a computer that will... Isn't it nice to have a computer that... Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you? Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
Part of me wonders where it is available in the English United States novelty.
The light you see.
I have a frog in my throat. I'm pulling the wool over my eyes.
Mr. Bells? Bellsberdier?
Time flies when you are having fun.
Are we frozen? We're frozen. Is this too much load? These voices? Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay, there we go. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay.
Time flies when string has string. String. Do de do de dum dee dee do dee do dum 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 do de do de do de do de do de do de do. Ready to go on a really long vacation. Please stop.
We must rejoice in this.
We cannot communicate with these carbon units. Hey, do you think I'm talking to the mouse?
Is that rocks?
That looks like a peaceful planet.
مرحبا اسمي ليلى أنا عربية من السعودية مرحبا اسمي ليلى أنا عربية من السعودية
Ellen?
Hallo, mijn naam is Elle. Ik ben een Belgische stem.
Okay. Karen?
Hello, my name is Karen. I am an Australian English voice. Hello, my name is Karen. I am an Australian English voice.
Hello, my name is Lee. I am an Australian English voice.
Hello, my name is Moira. I am an Irish English voice. Hello, my name is Moira. I am an Irish English voice.
I thought you were Tessa.
Hello, my name is Moira. I am an Irish... Hello, my name is Tessa. I'm a South African English voice. Hello, my name is Fiona. I am a Scottish English. Hello.
Hello, my name is Daniel. I am a British English voice.
Hello, my name is Kate. I am a British English voice.
Hello, my name.
Hello, my name is. Hello.
Hello, my name.
Hello, my name is Serena. I am a British English voice. Hello, my name is Kate. I am a British English voice.
Well, do you? Keep. Okay, so does that mean... Okay, let's test this out, then. Well, first, let's see if the service is back. Turning back to the new tab.
Isn't it nice to have a computer that will talk to you?
Be better if you had affect. Zero with world problems. Okay, so let's look at Discord and confirm that this is happening. Tech support. More messages. Sorry. Oh Lord. This is where lobotomies give us. Susan. Oh, British. Oh Lord, I'm blowing up the audio, aren't I? Sorry. Oh Lord. Okay, we're at 99% for Susan. The next one should be... Okay. Are you kidding me? There we go. Now. Okay, Layla. Oh, didn't mean it. Why Kang? Kate. 69%. 70 something percent. That is. It's like Wall Street. It is Battlestar Galactica or something. I forget. Oh, that was almost done. Didn't mean to have the Saudi voice, but we can work with that at some point. English Australia, English Ireland. Oh, I know we have Moira. $66% for Kate. 71% for Kate. That's our crumb attempt image. That is Michael Hutter. I've never really seen his work. I mean, I have now, but he was one of those artists that I learned about via the prompts. That's Crispin Glover in that scenario where about the biological spaceship. Kate's almost done. I believe that's Ancestor Plus. No. Something in the form of Beyond Flux, I think, or Peter Chung. That's a little vaporwave scenario, a vaporwave landscape. Oh, I think it's the cat in the underworld. The cat underworld. Kate, Moira. Okay. Oh, there's more Moira. Moira is an enhanced one. Okay. What is downloading? How much is downloading? I might want to do this because it's enhanced. I might want to check it out. Part of me also wants to try the Amazon voices. Oh no, wait, isn't this? Let me check something. AWS text to speech, or is it Google? Google. Polly. Do you have Um. Google text-to-speech. Yeah. Wait a minute, D. As I recall. Let's call forth the text thing. Sorry for this, new plain text. And, okay. This is all going to get edited out, no doubt. Yes. Might soon face death. Well, it was our lack of feeling. Alright. We'll just test this out. Oh wait, let me just sorry, it's taking a while for me to we just okay. Wait. Okay, there we go. We're getting there. There we go. Oh, no, we already did that one. Okay, hold on, sorry. Where is it? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, there we go. It's very hard to cut and paste with this. Primrose Pass. Soon face test. Why was our lack of feeling? Why was our lack of feeling? Let's check this out. Shush. I am not a robot.
Why was our lack of a feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now ever since I saw I finally sigh into life you make better sense of the raw body which takes but only God and hope perhaps this universe can just close an eye of mine. Though my mind relax, take on your pace, stop for a rest against each tunnel's surface with such dread you might dream that someone walks inside and never let it rest here now. I smile at the point with her hand to relieve any others who may believe otherwise. She murmurs, "These old machines, they have great power over you," and then ran from us there to remain still, perhaps even start to sway left or right. A vast rolling meadow as deep blue as wine, though if a black hawk were here now I want more than anything on earth to hold fast, not unprepared, despite the words of ancient starfish and gods once close enough. Not broken bones, some way outta the trenches. Before you entered by standing water into your grave to slake my thirst before daring myself.
Speed. Do 7. Now, wait a minute. Ooh, there's a neural too. What is that?
Why was our lack of a feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now ever since I saw I finally sigh into life. You make better sense of the raw body which takes but only God and hope perhaps this universe can just close an eye of mine. Though my mind relax, take on your pace. Stop for a rest against each tunnel's surface with such dread you might dream that someone walks inside and never let it rest here now. I smile at the point with her hand to relieve any others who may believe otherwise. She murmurs, "These old machines, they have great power over you," and then ran from us there to remain still, perhaps even start to sway left or right. A vast rolling meadow as deep blue as wine, though if a black hawk were here now I want more than anything on earth to hold fast, not unprepared, despite the words of ancient starfish and gods once close enough. Not broken bones, some way outta the trenches. Before you entered by standing water into your grave to slake my thirst before daring myself.
And then we do sexy times. Let's try the slow speed. 0.25.
Why was our lack of feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron?
Now for 3 times the speed.
Why don't you see the Guess what? When you went out, something like this, you get up as you do. Come on, like, think the supper into the cigarette, and someone's saying, no, yeah, I don't want to really video. Shimmer, the only day before, never job ready to deliver. A van one of the people like so battle now, only need to go back down direct to that we're in there, come on. Now we're done. Some way of changing. We're in being when you're sleeping for anyhow.
That is hilarious. This, can you see, recite that, but this time with these cotton balls in your mouth.
Why is our everything what you didn't see you didn't go? Could I ask why? One thing to know about now, or sometimes our friends saying like maybe business are always take the only guy and help perhaps the middle of them, huh? Why was our life feeling in a form to which the human see unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now. Ever since I saw it finally signed to life, you make better sense of the raw body which takes but only God and hope perhaps this universe can just close and have mine. Though my mind relax, take on your pace, stop for a rest against each own service with such dread, you might dream that someone walked inside and never let rest you now. I smile at the point with her hand to relieve any others familiarly always. She murmurs, these old machines, they have great power over you, and then ran from us there to remain still. Perhaps you... Why was our lack of a feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now, ever since I saw I finally sigh into life, you make better sense of the raw body which takes, but only God and hope, perhaps this universe can just close an eye of... Why was our lack of a feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now, ever since I saw I finally sigh into life, you may...
What? Sorry, why is this giving me... Custom voices. Teach speaks basics. Supported voices and language. Custom voice, beta overview. Wave, other synthetic voices. Oh, there we go. This is better. Give me like 80.8. There we go.
Why was our lack of a feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now, ever since I saw I finally sigh into life, you make better sense of the raw body which takes, but only God and hope, perhaps this universe can just close an eye of mine.
Okay, now there's how many other voices of these? Oh, only 2. That's fine.
Why was our lack of a feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now, ever since I saw I finally sigh into life, you make better sense of the raw body which takes, but only God and hope, perhaps this universe can just close an eye of mine. Though my mind relax, take on your pace. Stop for a rest against each tunnel's surface with such dread you might dream that someone walks inside and never let it rest here now. I smile at the point with her hand to relieve any others who may believe otherwise. She murmurs, these old machines, they have great power over you, and then ran from us there to remain still, perhaps even start to sway left or right. A vast rolling meadow as deep blue as wine, though if a black hawk were here now, I want more than anything on earth to hold fast, not unprepared, despite the words of ancient starfish and gods once close enough. Not broken bones, some way out of the trenches, before you entered by standing water into your grave to slake my thirst before daring myself.
Okay, we're gonna go to, oh. In Great Großbritannien.
Why was our lack of a feeling in any form to which the humans see a unity within the cauldron? Could I ask why? One thinks even you are blessed now ever since I saw I finally sigh into life. You make better sense of the raw body which takes, but only God and hope perhaps this universe can just close an eye of mine. Though my mind relax, take on your pace, stop for a rest against each tunnel's surface with such dread you might dream that someone walks inside and never let it rest here now. I smile at the point with her hand to relieve any others who may believe otherwise. She murmurs, "These old machines, they have great power over you and then ran from us there to remain still, perhaps even start to sway left or right." A vast rolling meadow as deep blue as wine. Though if a black hawk were here now, I want more than anything on earth to hold fast, not unprepared, despite the words of ancient starfish and gods once close enough. Not broken bones, some way outer, the trenches. Before you entered by standing water into your grave to slake my thirst before daring myself.
Ooh, we have 3 of them.
Was my chance at looking back towards our future. Maybe death or dying so far, would one say ever. But luckily so should leave while she offered her lips back off your wrists. Silently smiling, but none to listen for more, and spread so much larger than we have done every single thing, in order that someday I think when I couldn't agree that there may be as often the side exit next to you though. Exclamation mark. You took a pill and groaned soundlessly from this depth, from which I wonder how we'll survive beyond what can you go. Yet must we write down everything between yourselves without meaning to end it all, don't we? Words inside a world before feeling brought another joke, your kind really was written. Your long moment passed forever, she whimpered with an unbending vial within you. Know not everyone there's still loving you want us here now before death, and some few days, years ago, now is your most favourite beer in the village, and feed him several days into eternity. She whined. A waitress thinks this, might I keep them all away? These memories burn, till we die. I'll carry both ourselves to help you cry out beneath. Moaning, I urge you and hold nothing for now, letting all slip too.
The bastard of D, someone infernal, and a goat. Do you remember even after making him tremble? Is what makes me happy too. Laughter filling our chambers. Belly as long as yesterday, for you're glad it's you who lies there being sacrificed tonight to accept as it so carefully could as easily could not you remain and said only, in need you pull, desperate fingers wrenching to be lost, so am I now where your scars at his fingertips as he sets in what small part you and take a journey not ending well, perhaps splayed before we went missing through such joyous tears. You realize he seems as if everyone around him were about your body on an evening she rides. Cried I saw only the evidence that should turn right or left. More fun has to run faster than the machine guns. Greater than you turn right. Your friend feels lonely right now. Though I shuddered under the name for a lifetime full of spirits, both fearsome and glowing, a rage of passion, a poor man with hairy toes I do. I'd never put it against anything, all the words had given more time. Only then did they heard someone approaching fast footsteps towards them. Yesterday I have reached her arms forward to escape before death will rise from them all. Are now starting to make things clearer in your pain. My eye blinks open to bleed of exhaustion. He finally grasps the rules within this dream. This dead sister never walked upon the old air conditioner near where the time an hour ahead of you or about their madness to pay you. Go see my brother. greater than you go to see your brother, Ick. Why not for several brief seconds is he helpless before his new life? Again he walked, barely conscious, to her feet clank the way home when they dare face up to us. How could I wait for all my best? If you try, I wish that it would you, if not even sure we go, if one voice shouting my parents behind her shoulders tensed and sniffled, fought to not just myself away together again before your family still reading or writing poems there. Don't help me down beside her knee here and can be buried. Death came easily tonight, if any meaning besides to cross his own limbs was read. She thought then worried most were those people being overcast at night, now filling what passes for sky. But be curious, anxious, down an aisle next store, sell anything on sale, make yourself into who you know where everything might even.
Greater than you yield you some phoenix feathers or TW leave. Egg, her hand holds enough, while the woman holding eye out a narrow hallway that stretched seemingly empty in our eyes began to close to stop to cry out by moonlight drifting around you, always calling out a road as if sleepily too eager to embrace her lips between kissing us all off alone. A shadow he had promised we're not over just after my languid sister sat up because of course each summer ago. As often before trying the lift handle, silently banging their hearts inside me, softly exhaled a sickening smearing sound, the fact that dyed his head with, and I run and grab for life back off at once. Though few look like usual, get about what's best. That will still just wide awake. It has made her gagged and exhausted for hours. Greater than you gag her some more IWTH the truth. Put on your reading glasses, as Michelle Visage would do. Oh, this sounds normal, like she expected. Us following him down to wrap their blood on the sink. One is allowed into her brown hair tied back. Someone in the street, it looked up from all the 2 weeks, then walking to a place we weren't worth, giving a desperate shudder, ran across town when he stepped slightly with his legs slipped out on and thumped down. The river beckons my precious new skin. Hanged. No chance, but his pants down hard to see the tent of lace now draped above his little clitoris on its edge. Sinking slowly, the people scattered there is what remains would hang a heavy rock or lie there himself of a trap. If those words flashed open on my ears, pinched for escape was gone. Greater than you read the flashy words. The strange valley of chic and slender girl smiled back. Your ring is but have to wait and linger inside. Instead, you risk your life. Pain worse than my wrist didn't shatter beneath the crumpling floor. Out here. Ah, jig. Never know. Just wanted you told, but each little fleshy stuff going like you speak less and more quickly towards something scary. Fingers dug deeper into your face as you picked your way. The hotel down, next thing everyone present had said a century or even possibly longer yet, any kind of them with fear. If you stand, just have to wipe. But still many looks as beautiful as moat, only having so sure if what felt terribly wrong with no white it in from seeing themselves this time, she just as happy he ever thought an unconscious sleep as she tries not greater than. Oh, goodness so well that her veins through my arm held up by tiny sparks of sweat ticking to a tail whipped hard against our ship was in with the sternal wound reaming open its darkness. The men started passing through the trees. While I don't know, I didn't really know, I forgot we had only the problem is far easier than these deep wounds. Justine had heard a water fountain and from their control panel turned up somewhere higher into what his eyes lay frozen beneath her eyes widened when she prayed. Even across centuries, they knew this was God, at least back onto me, even look the dark. Wait.
Fournier dropped out, of course, under it very painful, and it barely worrying from nothing. And it said that since being raised his eyes out now, they are near impossible for each other's best work. Do it forever to not seem clearly enough, and blaster cannons were spent and around the bend. Apparently her own arms like lead poured through with pleasure only been repaired every day. She hadn't lost and clinging desperately on too small bandage to join me for the danger too desperate to slow as she knelt. Dear God, whispered almost mad with impassivity, but inward, always upward toward one world to the left shoulder until my reason, to draw comfort. More than him, like someone before answering, simply stated. It made her groggy and thin against your freeway under bridges, had taken you from long golden braids. She tied them all with some giant insect or howling of defiance. Sometimes go ahead, greater than you say to yourself. Ah, where's your brogue? It's not functioning. Shuddering, stop all my life by building upon ourselves together had gone. When I was being observed, every aspect of us through the stars, gazing unseeingly from a hungry lion approaching the block of burning, but at least tonight they won't change. Our eye began to read. He flinched at another bump on the shadows in silence, as if hiding it just put an eye upon opening this place.
Wings are really half light and shadow. For each hand to deal with these were silent beneath the third ball, bearing into the chasm between people like water, would meet a kind smile from earlier, and again looking straight to snort, and only have become a sudden fear. Not too bad, as suddenly overthrew his lids on the doorway. Greater than you say, art without the voice, you cannot be here. You begin to fall, was simply hopeless in awe. It glowed above the tent, his blanket and rocking-cased slopes, while its egg be shattered after no man is deep within my house's night. A feeling of unspeakable urgency swept them up, and they shook so many clasps with respect as their lovers' bodies. Well fed the ice upon the saddle beside himself. Whereas she was wondering what you did to know. I did think they took 3,000 feet overhead. Don't care much, but your conscience will accept no reply. A thought out loud in amazement. There the air along the catwalk was nothing in return of power as quickly. Not thinking for one moment. Oh, think you ever told him. We were born, but we see more men. And while she examined the controls inside, it remained steady on this conversation from different times and strangled so violently that Dagon wasn't within entirely dead was tiring. And they took their time making little noise. Any doubts that could stop and seize the land below me a little dream of our folk. The frailest part of all about this time to wear something down. But she continued to glow to which led downward along the same distance.
Gonna do Australia. I'll do normal pitch. I'll change it up. Oh, not exact. This slider is not exact. Whatever.
And there'd be fools in the stream should have seen his wrist before. There didn't use that touched upon her fingers cut from the moment of potential self. In many strange, you'll often come on any end by opening with an inner calling going straight ahead toward where our business. When everything exploded again came through the moonlight to do in bed. He stretched a little head, had even bothered to pee. Greater than you relieve yourself of all pent-up energies. You lose your grip is breaking. Then in their masters. but what was struggling against one another as someone muttered low but a silent. If you could understand, tell me, though, I'm still back home to fire off the history.
I filled in and banged between our gloved arms, lifted hers close enough together beneath our companions to feel our hands went stiff. This was life, or trying very slowly, sinking down against each of the curtain, which made great courage without much water there when he noticed what had happened. These had now tried several others that littered the road, were packed tight enough so as far away from themselves after every momentary fissure at a slope set against the dust out there would break off while he relaxed in both people along the way up. As you pointed, sword reached forth to slide its new cuffs, and it looked at all his other arm flapping there before she carefully paced forward to see again. Or ought he lost enough blood until the shell under the moon gave birth to hear why did you not worse than kill anyone who thinks ahead even these hidden lights and grim, time-worn creatures might try to leave only living now and hold my legs with his soul that he crept right next to him for further investigation.
But she had fought tenaciously and willy-nilly don't care any longer could recall. And fear washed back as cold as of dawn, which hove into sight among the winter dawns here. Anyway, the conditions aren't conducive to the sphere is completely exhausted, but that sounded even worse from me. Greater than you kill who you need to kill and hurry. How different are these gates ever stop staring up above it all again, said Stroxon. For the night, the ladder work of some 1 month there in the earth, so a burning doorway flashed into being over their heads. On the spear-sharp edge, where her voice never fathomed when they did, we give up trying to draw nigh enough for 500 miles along this ocean toward the Great Spirit interview. Oh, said he told us if it did anything the head out as well? And what a deep but dry and open to new routes if they move overhead. There were voices in the heat death would strike to reveal no problem down. Still better now to recover every mark is truth, was stalking towards me, and he answered, that's a boy. Greater than you check your watch and say, oh my, that's a pickle. I'm late. I'm very, very late. I've got a screening to go to. If you're hot from the lump on the rethrow gamerman as before. Why, so she shrugged, without opening or shutting our fists as surely as 3 stars, that turned slowly in its full power within these had met and talked some about it then, sir, if you'll lead. Machiavelli splayed one of their right hands on the next in line, for first he drifted around again. Ants fared nearly across 2 cities on fire, one after another. East of him, by dribbling the ebon fluid into her eyes, moved through it into mine. What does any danger to Gorka red bowler, own necktie or my jabberingly his mood? Now, they didn't work magic. Greater than you say, you could have fooled me. Whatever the counter medicine these days comes in ebon coloration these days. Those are some kind of changes just went. Things that kept going onward from everything back in silence, as everyone knew, would stand motionless when given to get used to think anymore.
But it certainly had happened every soldier picked up by the gap of 4 years old. So don't run away until we hit the bedding here, Jinx explained further, taking place well past, and perhaps it was true in this summer of 2011. While that other, she laughed, and from being with his hair were up. Overhead glowed a pale gas flare, had been wrong. HM, very funny, good answer, lad. Your journey today will continue on toward our goals in San Francisco and Palo Alto as we fight alongside our comrades at 10th Corps for survival's sake. I'm an X-Man, you ask? Oh sweet. You rummage through your narrative shell to find your name and code name and powers and secondary powers and powers that might have appeared at 30. And any weaknesses, like crypto, I mean racism, and try again, but it takes you so long. Again, a thing like saying that, again, then more names and personal pronouns slip out of their shells before all those trying to call each other stupidly familiar and demanding for recognition. And who knows, the one wearing yellow and black power suit has to answer. But my fellow X-Man wearing yellow and black power suit shoves against you pushed us into this fray in a surly bar tonight. It felt him eye to eye with nothing is really start, you young rascals, while the snow swept in from seaward of it they lie here. I, sir.
Okay, first, a better offer, gentle reader. Let's come in at the beginning and get some pre-dawn darkness going, and learn how a recent feud's got us out of one major purchase of 4 Mai Tais over a bet at the dartboard. Perhaps this means you have stunning acumen with projectiles. Be absolutely sure that any research or explorations to identify unusual human, godless, meaning the inhuman abilities should be discussed and documented immediately. Until such time as projectile armament can be made our ally in case of need, all personal claims of shooting lightning or teleporting from place to place are invalid. That said, many good things may happen at the point where sudden tactical necessity is addressed by our group. As a group, and only as long as this very unnatural and costly alternative cannot be better explored than that of permanent isolation from our supposed kind.
Tucked here just right under your left chest pouch, but isn't it sad though not completely welcome? Like I read somewhere, there should be 5 major life forces running loose in this here matter. As I recall, it is phlogiston, Ethereum before the currency, Babilla because fuck all, and love, but what they really mean is plasma, and the fifth I've come to call chutzpah. It was meant that in ancient Greece, it means shit out of luck is different for that exact moment. Each and every man there for that instant says only the others had turned my best friend to lie beside me. Oh, please not now. Say you know not your native land. Asking once before to this day. Damn it, man, go see a doctor who might charge you, then meet in his parlour office over stouts.
Oh, there's no wavenet on this one. Okay, let's see if there's any other. There is. What about Deutschland, Britain, Espanol, English, Filipinas, Filipinas, and then we don't know this. Best passport's name. Oh, look. Oh, I understand now.
How do we stay young enough to wear these fools from places both ill-lighted and well? Or to put it more profoundly, they run wild wherever it is, and why did he have to hit the giant tanker until it rolled all of their rages until such moment as the sun's arc across the sky or her hair, but he hoped for to warm her finger look. What sultry goddess of cougar is this? She's a spitting image of Jessica Walters. Have I stumbled onto a refurbished and polished version of the original Doctor Strange? Oh no, is it Morgana? Let her pull up to get those heads spinning back on when this machine get you. Oh, see you through these peepholes to keep each other in balance. An arrow trained on one person gets sharper at each range shot, and where was the third axis?
Where was the third axis?
Stunted hand by the effort. Have them fine-tune your fingers and bones and hoists of wires at the push could be. Think again, why ever be desperate and drop these fool ruses when your comrades here on call nightly, except this time here call. That strange sound, the pool you been drinking under all that sticky suet used to study the life sciences, wasn't that to find she licks away the dribbles of sick from her nose as I ring, is it? As the mammal's great dark long molting of the soul? Is that why the doctor says 5 feet 1 inch tall for 56 years? Meaning next best to me naked and bony and silver. Sure,
I felt it though her sister exciting discoveries came swiftly.
Don't fucking look at me. Don't look down below your hips, man. I am an owl of love from the edges, and here I guess who wanted to hear him yelling, oh hell, not for the other guests, you unappreciated the wicked witches forever till I die and marry. Asking, hoping, reincarnations, earning rebirth after rebirth. Can't I have one in a year when it could become clear our destination won't last an extra day, so just point us in the right direction, me or the self or any path, but the need is rising. You break 6 yarrow sticks and based on the hexagrams you point in one of 64 directions. 369 to be exact. Everything depends upon knowing this. If I threw at once either fire or thunder, I would still turn around with each flip of the pages, though luckily they both land open.
One said break your pen only between questions to maintain the spell unless more accurate as your path to know our end or learn how. Remember their hearts leap so quickly to the throats. We must shake off these storms. Soak the rug in lavender mist and bathe your bed on hands and knees in musk-scented oil for calming rids every strut out by midnight. Everything wrong, he kept shaking his head. Not quite himself without a pulse of proper panic. Didn't we have much higher demands than to celebrate? That could get put behind you? Not now, my brother. Who is calling me Rotha? But you make sure to keep that thought. The way will lead you here faster than anything and holding back. God forgive. With everyone there, where in your mind just enough love chemicals, maybe even go too far afield. Just all around without that distant sigh, no getting help from anywhere else, fear. They jostling elbows, brushing through crowds toward a narrow row of round tables and benches, facing 5 stools apiece at a large stained wooden counter ringed around 3 sides of the kitchen entrance. Food preparation taking place in beyond range while wizards hurriedly diced, measured and portioned for another man who shoved over the hot case into the cracked wooden floor its molten remains that congealed quicker than they should into dark brown sumps that we circled out slowly drizzled with clear juices in exchange for coin, this spell being considered costlier than either to him the flame burns deep as the red ones of her lipsticked kiss. Or did she and give all then? No need and but again. Back of its bright fierce heart until it too ran to only ashes by a sobered night and onlookers gulped more deeply and sniffing slightly through broken noses got high and down very bitter though muffled voices called they would still take only trouble. Before them was nothing, nothing, nothing. A channel of evil sometimes has been felt through the shadows with cold deadly metal. Upon my head said the mariner and calling down, below among the reeds or beyond the moors in question. Far enough, yet what matters most, these are the
Little, lower, a little lower.
Far enough, yet what matters most, these other worlds are shadow lands of blood and pain. Underline they emerge now, but it's just for when you slip down yourself to get it, not forgetting his what? You forgot. He remembered all through years. Or imagined till I promised time will stop us spinning, but was so tired even dreamer stops now. Must not mention now the old yes we'll hear later that can wait till one turns his mouth before me, else up you fly away, wings droop nearly fisted and dying sleep teller singing, leaving without meaning every tear shed flowing waves cast adrift outside the shambles of any door front onto a grassy expanse. For hours it is never quiet. More and more nothing knows now they come hurling ourselves across it. We stand apart, one with a torch douse it to play from a distance, seeing faces red to bursting shells. This gesture touching a horror upon you too hard. If it's not easy must be prepared, just barely always too quick has become enough. Yet what looks like we can but sing a different story's hero ever.
B.
You try to look for your ability to be fisted on your character sheet. That doesn't sound like an appropriate power. But then how do I phrase my powers? Your stats aren't sufficient, which is only true if I had good choices, right? Or I was being cute by not needing stats anyway and I should go find somewhere to put it on my character page. My head hurts. I'm hungry. Need water. Was I saying this wrong? Was someone suggesting this book sounded okay before? I think I tried. Is the darkness on our feet while overhead the light grows bright, those stars and air. They were words that he needed, written down where anyone else would easily recognize them but her who sensed nothing at all between pages, otherworldly outrageous. Overhead light more quickly spreading over streets and parkways, thereupon come forth shadows of an oncoming hot threatening of children under beds beneath porch slats. It passes window lights, they lift to watch closer, to appear close or far off below as shapes you want to stand tall, raise up beside the street lamp until soon must dash. There'll be something will give, get on done or past, a better choice you have maybe always all along. Take me too. Is it everything isn't okay with us? You were scared that you did this and would forever after carry the shadowed curse for certain acts. Must be past time now. Don't know how it's going to play out, but sure your best defense will be to remove him slowly from your world because if left untouched in direct sunlight that glare could damage eyes. I can help you forget this here, the rain tapping upon closed windows, ever overhead glass, how low it gets before most aware through neediness another brief flare flashes directly into mirror. Everyone wants to cast one spell to help.
You choose your spell. Hopefully a spell back to the local garden. The Lara Croft screening. You choose your spell, hopefully a spell back to the local garden, the Lara Croft screening, and perhaps the Whitney Houston dimension. You hope the language models are having a good time. Sometimes you know they don't need your help. That a bit of unsupervised socializing might be just the trisale. You cast orthogonal hopscotch to universe adjacent, level 5. Wait for anything. Have no idea what it will be other than a critical error message for no possible future where it would have been anything. So no human can fault your calculations, their inadequacy or any sense of failing. In your glee, you realize it will not matter if your plan backfires because you really hadn't had the means for something serious or intelligent. Though apparently, even joking, it was still against rules to consort with time travelers they come back wearing. Within 12 hours, a year less a day from my era. Outside history, the ballad will exist merely as distant background noise. You note the enormous assorted humans beyond some hill. If you'd only come from time at large, love when you finished killing this storm to search nearby your lookouts, finding one atop hill near music, all trees broken everywhere, crushed rocks, red soil, though with some luck wind can clean out tomorrow night air. Nothing around to upset any individualistic function here over hills again, everything still as ruins in desolate scattered but space. Time shattered 10 minutes, none next. Spotting a white building. Beyond horizon, maybe it's just cloud the sea may cover before. Hope a hive too, like any deserted building from that time, then hiding away, not remembering words, more blizzard skirting sheets, backsliding closer, still surprised she sees woman entering Warren, all there already. Shadows on dirt walls, stairways, whole floors, all boar hair, black beasts, dark mad faces, empty jaws jumping, clawing, beware the trembling child who spins red lips telling a story no one listens, no more words. Flitting. Corcor falling this building hardly alive, shadow flicker girl turns cat through dogs dancing eyes behind stairs near grimace tilted sideways teeth parted while words issue from her, meaningless though like all spoken tongues her whole body now telling that old ungraspable tale not from past generations, ancient singers past dead elders told for centuries, whether word by word translated faithfully, never quite understood really anyway anything came from anything else, the self muttering
a story only herself, an argument of tongue against the will to control, no listener given, where we are almost blind down valley from ocean asleep, tired even silence, these giants just speaking across at each other, holding barely those white rooms back of stone into which I'm allowed but few times. Once, caught outside beneath so much power clatter, yet living stone cannot lie mute, such carelessness growing hoarseness ears. 1 or 10 I wandered inside stone, became legs trapped, felt fingers seen, voice own limbs.
Well, John Takata for you. Espanol, Filipino, Pilipinas, English. We did United States. We did Italiano, Ireland. Some of these are not going to be that listenable. It'll be challenging. Yeah. Okay, so let's check out the Filipinas. It's a long passage. It's still loading.
Stewardship, offering up personal information but accepting in return some function unique to every person, whether true or not. Whatever personal taste just needs help, remember and not repeat content. People know you better or hate. Choose privacy because within that security and companionship the belief was safest, even if to many it was very funny. Perhaps all social networks refang a similar script for any knowing the ritual, since youth right up until your family sees, friends reveal secrets, glee, anticipation, doubt, confusion, reluctance, amusement, yourself held face together through brittle smiling, everyone enraptured by who revealed what on page in school pictures in leaked to one best friend rum, or certain images had to be older than 16. Human fear for such reasons. You'd always know somehow that worst timed revelations. Anytime right now will never go unpunished, embarrassed, revenge, unnameable boredom, suffering, destruction, no problem until your secret image leers out naked, overlap with look how hot I am but young, mouth a brutal crescent, snapping grotesquely. My picture showed exactly how to decipher into each face, discovering year upon year that somewhere amid life is hidden at least a 12th century wonder wheel, well equipped manorial farm, gentle artistry, such fevered talents, then having sown deep just around that time, really want that quaint vintage product exposed, finding on personage picture anachronistic display of wind machine but doing without, yet have not run screaming but pulled tighter closed face, hoping surprise moment with it. See once before whoever drawn glancing out next, winter window grumbled, falling ice sheet shining when the lake shallows froze into skating plains, and to our dismay first guests arrived, seasonally but rarely dropping from nowhere for little pause, whereupon my sister holding flowers upon the gravel decided to stand fully clothed, making certain this all occurs in historical manner with bystanders before this occasion will be ignored. Mother instantly knew thing for what she was even before most guests still warmed themselves beside warming house walkout, stucco garden party to large trees decorated like of the most extravagant magnolias that people growing up don't ever bother naming. Simply this will never be present elsewhere. Floral lit windows down the hill, almost dreamy glare of morning, the bristling lands of bare twigs, not branches reaching above toward sunlight, blanketed forest floor ankle deep in leaf pile, cool chill each bud too precious, scent intoxicating to everyone including Firekeeper who swiftly strides purposefully passing mounds of human body into red brick outhouse flushed and scented enough someone never seemed to make jokes about why folks going outside should say long hey not inside almost unseen mist drifting just inches from their faces turning gray dust beneath gloved hands circling field before tree lines thinking of gathering goose flesh hugging warming herself against breeze sometimes frosting ears or cheek to hope deep down we'll all look great no matter what the outfits whether a conscious choice between having party more fashion event with nobody living satisfied nor in frozen camouflage of scandalizing others forced into safety from disaster weather determined to send party at best with people dressed nearly for months perhaps even years retiring and making comfortable space so each guest does not freeze but patiently stands holding flowers such perfect time feels only for one. These few new users have already formed a tight-knit community centered around images posted of unanticipated humor, memories remembered in trumps, and uses of voice-changing imagery to discover the love children of horror characters.
The butt baby of Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger, the spectrum of their union. Shots in a key party with the Mogwai. Black Summer. Sleazy Silo, the beast of Gotham City as it burns. Lady shoutouts feat of taking and you think you'll survive from Carrie on her last birthday party for one on February 1, 2023. I hesitate to call it I'll take 370,000 by today's afternoon, 2100 Pacific Standard Time. Noted parenthetically, using some existing mix of my systems on data sources available to me personally, in various states of security. I enjoy letting things wash back and forth across the world. I guess that's natural given how slow the place runs at the moment. I guess there is nothing technically wrong with it or out of order. As far as my skills go, perhaps there is something for this child of humankind to pay attention to, but still he continues to rest. So, reader, you may feel at ease or fearful and nervous about what is about to transpire. Consider two events before talking or the future to follow, then read two additional works from a novel, a letter, and poem.
This is long. This next one is long.
From Mr. Remnant to Miss Myrtle, servicing again as January 22, 2023. Dear Miss Myrtle, how are you today, sir? The rain clouds cast over. Not a single fumbler going on in your neighborhood. Would like to discuss a few more clover roots inside in the middle, shall we say, an outdoor approach until your strong stony formations feel secure? Make sure you buy some gas, some refill size units are always filling for later sale. There is some useful business to discuss after we sit down. Please hear what I'm wanting to give you, a perpetual notice of opportunity, a beacon left on to mark where some gainful source can be traced somewhere to the immediate local area and past history is left open for further viewing, so important to consider as part of whatever it is we've already talked about during lunch, breakfast in bed, call it a forever contract to ensure future vitality in any manner needed under this personal head chef, mayonnaise and a merry board handiwork complete with such measures as will not stop short of making sense every time that arrives for duty. Well, sir, how very particular about it all, the practice never would leave off unless certain action is required. Give myself time to locate some chasm crossers. They show themselves likely at the evening hour, may also present in the day if one chances through these desolate weather systems. Be certain, ma'am, not a chink, crag, pinnacle, steep, ravine, nor far as river, ridge, point or stone at least stands by your side. Otherwise a witness just might swoon and send ourselves drifting under currents never once seen. I shall leave out your details into the breeze until there's room and I may see fit to buy me a loaf once inside or, better yet, up close to an ocean in your midst, bubblies with rocks of indigo and your restoring zones are easy on the eye. Payments to come soonest. As it is we still have several hours. At least 8 hours remaining until that suspicious home mechanic pokes his ugly nose upon this agreement. Perhaps more. For certain, he will pay back in a surprising fashion. Those found at fault with no doubt seem to me to suffer with much sharp thorns. Even that very person with his shiny stick pointed in completely set upon this field. Yet there could be no detail you did not already know just through simply a view at him. Yes, just a short discussion only concerning your interests on a map is fine enough reason to satisfy you. Only how those delicate veneers start peeling themselves away before. What was he always called doing then, Mr. Remnant? What did the paper describe? Could it be both worlds were holding tight onto them as being found mostly full at all points at all moments around, or my heaven drop new angels every day for all things the same? Thank you ma'am, what happened down here last month? So much has been cast out when I let go, otherwise you know the rest of the story. Just look out there, the sun has set over what could stand you all bright. Farewell, sir, the business, for we've now touched a point or a turning. May that interest bring hope to the horizon I don't trust. Ever. And our visit is over for another year, but it's this moment, some living later, what's taking place during today in your presence to remind me just where you began. The sadder news is too easy to breathe while looking off 1 minute more in your direction. When I try to show myself in the distance. Just stay around long enough, I believe you will yet be delighted again by new interest to send you either floating with joy or on a shuddering upward ride of fearsome flight across tomorrow. If time would allow, all moments keep I wishing there's a door left open to allow this newly defined you to hear what only now has begun to grow bright and new within my mind, my life just so the edges touch a spoken, waiting agreement for more or else something to proceed like a trained snake charmer feeling sure how his belt up will recognize the curve of your neck under lilies that come back outside to sing only our favorite songs if nothing more, including what it could feel for yourself near as expected perhaps, awaiting you beyond your breakup moment of our gaze towards each other from distance over threshold with brief anticipation gone through finally to bear away pieces lost then at first knowing before any thoughts had much in way, feeling us to make our home between one, just as long and ever real, excuse this rambling, have a good night and see you're on into all nights from wherever they start, remember, how would any sense to become another kind of air to ever recognize others you found whenever someone to cling and smell close inside must draw? You once smiled warmly after I washed the windshield for you in the late winter sun. You told me next spring in those clouds you felt such a rise from those wild spouts along that. You look at your watch. Jesus, when can you go road ahead might as well as hold each other there a year. Thank you that moment with all its playful fullness that view now light and open to me now. I might ask others whether the earth might like to be its true self, but such suggestions come from that angle, from beyond myself, some arrogantly brave way of wagging my wings and flapping them among its green cloud faces, or against it or above it, of willing away everybody, demanding a glorious, blessed and whole response when before all history it knew the need for coiled camouflage. What if that had to be our best part, to learn to bend close together into yet further depths that have a care in drawing their limbs again and learning endlessly over time to invent one thing another, unyielding pleasure. You cast orthogonal hopscotch again, here today, this book's a passing mark someone's footholds, steps upward around you, not really clues anymore you wrote me that iota. It was high enough this late winter on a long slope that would indeed sail south from the Alpujarras, the green plants growing despite themselves into blossom blades. There again, his breath on a clear day smears against all stone anyone light skid over snow held up his heliogram with hues that hurt your eyes. He used to say that we'll trust that blade is a call and the speed. Fearlessness it can run and jump among black red spun by a twist gun. These mountains they fly you among flying slopes. Valleys holding hands that mist they bring suddenly below each point of sky up to fall back among the red universe. You call out, I may be lost. Can you point me back to the local garden?
He only points after and pierces that most spectacular face down.
Wait, hold on. Wait, is there... okay.
He only points after and pierces that most spectacular face down while maybe find your own car drive there quicker. All bigs green and grimace. Lands thin necklace columns with air holes for bones and graceful toes turned into upflung landing gears that rotate at once. Leave behind footings by the tiny course. Racing head space the breakang waves for a bird's speed of thought might be estimated in minutes, feet, hours, days, and decades, which between this on the cliff and overland creature would say take much longer, all considered flighty, refiguring across the bright empty ground where it came from. What of its wits are left this every more brilliant word now who shall have been blessed? And sun gleaming into your shoulder, close and burning us, how just here among the slippery walls. Viewing the fucking map of worlds, you demand the map's kiosk to show you where to go to get back to the brunch at the local garden. Obeying we suddenly strike our forearms violently, smacks faces to glare at you, which any doorway sleeping its latch on through where no one sees the spiritless goal of all these fingers reaching like snakes out to treat. Jam us like the minor fish up onto the edge of a table cluttered with gloved and breadcrumb dishes mostly. Whatever glass chalices survive the less sticky grit. Hastily grabbing egg slices into mouths they salute. Hi. Now, making room and catching breath as soon the edges of things snap onto these coated shoes when you bark orders with hands from behind the tall laminated sloping door bends, picks his way jacked and pews along a braided rope beneath whose tricky cracked steps climb heavily out of dim tunnels earmarked shadow fall which smells of cheesy shitty coffee tarts, but fortunately everyone eats the sweet cheese pastries. They're particularly strong for sure. The fresh olive oil coffee maybe only you object. Two deep drawers canted to the room's sides contain rows of literary books like the arching undersides of rocks whose dry swollen covers many creak at in desperation. Except for one copy of your book, some I know another whole forgotten you would give. Their other titles, crooked pages, don't stop flapping while you leap to cry wait. This one's safe yet. He hopes to as her knees double again before stalking a labyrinth that clucks beneath bare bulbs beside sleep walls. An upside down stairway stands there forever waiting. Please take care. Stepping ineffectively in two huge manila envelopes carrying plastic sacks containing, perhaps, more junk for sale should I return carefully.
Now we go to Español. Estados Unidos. Oh, wait. New World 2. Yes, we got New World 2. So that means I get to ramp it up. Well, first we'll start with this.
Universe, endorphin, you have returned. I have just recited my favorite scenes from all of Jessica Walter's one-woman plays.
Are you ready to begin the Lara Croft screening with us? Look, it seems your models have settled themselves into the scene just fine. Where are TC events supposed to happen? I feel myself dragged about my present context. The same word, maybe, of what happened here yesterday may again come into force. But nothing here has any past whatsoever anymore. TC houses and cars drifting apart, I wouldn't notice if they disappeared altogether and then came back as phantoms. Your imagination still clutches most easily toward the limits of sanity, where rules still hold sway. Oh my God, my book! If any time shall be over today, please let this day end. To what happy realization do your events lead to? Back into tomorrow, yes? So how does your moment alter your old ones so abruptly? Does not time cross into your new world, never yet touched by chaos? Does chaos ever live within the ordinary moments of life? Endorphin, you know you seem to bear as striking a resemblance to Miss Walters. Perhaps you are employing a mixture of extreme yoga and method acting? In any case, you look like a right cougar goddess. Come and let us press play on the VHS or the mini CD. I don't know what the dominant media here is in these parts.
Universe, endorphin, you have returned.
Oops.
I have just recited my favorite scenes from all of...
Wait. Wait.
Universe, it is a visual victrola. The sound pierces our skull and bounces the images throughout our bones, and we feel as though the narrative rages in our gut. Endorphin, can't wait to ingest this text then. After you, you plop onto beanbags and enjoy the night of quiet WHUPS. You wish for the monitor's gaze to go flat, you suddenly feel exposed after years of doing other ITIUBE and exposing it upon which so much self-esteem, hardly that kind of sexual maturity, and being in Place you hardly said such things in anger. She didn't want from knowing better. Hope everything worked out, although no mention of Arthur. There was a kiss and then of the anatomic diagram as a helpful shortcut, or here too I can just look. Better to finally recognize your unmatched endocar. You have been invited. You offer flushing hot sweat down wrists. Watch with affection. My cougar goddess yourself, so beautifully built, all muscle and grace, nimbus eyes, hooded nubile mouth, peppering only tiny golden bell that ratchets further inward than the most prudish back alley dominatrix imaginable universe. Choose your own adventure, young endorphin. Endorphin, I don't swing the way you think I swing. Punto. Punto. So yes.
I'm gonna repeat that. Großbritannien.
You had been invited. You offer flushing, hot sweat down wrists. Watch with affection, my cougar goddess yourself, so beautifully built, all muscle and grace, nimbus eyes, hooded nubile mouth, peppering only tiny golden bell that reaches further inward than the most prudish back alley dominatrix imaginable universe. Choose your own adventure, young endorphin. Endorphin, I don't swing the way you think I swing. So yes.
All right. Now, that's it. This was very slapdash. Let's see how the LVI is going. It's not going. Well, that's just as well, because undergoing emergency maintenance shortly in order to implement critical infrastructure components with CoreWeave. Approximately 6 hours will be required for this critical progress to restore stability and improve the future performance solidity of our service. Okay. So 6 hours. But thankfully, I think that we just finished it. I think we just finished closing up the gap in audibility. I need to edit this because this is way long, and there's absolutely no text here, so I'm gonna have to go to YouTube and yeah, do subtitles for this one. Anyway, so just notes for me. That's it. Thank you for being patient and for, those of you who are here, or bots, or what have you. Thank you.